Hey guys, it's DBD Gamer Girl here. Welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would make a video about what your killer main says about you. I feel like it's kind of a spin-off of the killer stereotypes video that I made earlier, and it's just for fun, and it's kind of like my experiences, I guess, with what I've seen with certain killer mains and what I imagine the people that are playing them are like. So we'll start with Trapper. I think anyone that mains Trapper is super logical and methodical with life, because in order to play Trapper, I feel like, and to play him well, you really need to have a plan of setting up your traps properly, and the best trappers kind of disappear for the first half of the match and set up their traps, and then they really come down hard in the second half when everybody starts getting caught in the traps, and then they wrap up the game really quick after that. So I feel like you're very logical, methodical, you enjoy planning. That is why Trapper is pretty much the perfect killer for you, because it lets you apply that to your playstyle. Wraith really has that jump scare element, so I feel like if you enjoy playing Wraith, you really enjoy kind of that stealth killer category in general. Another thing about Wraith is I feel like a lot of people say that Wraith is really not that strong, and he's just kind of one of the basic killers, and he's not really good in the high ranks. But I still do, see people that like playing Wraith and are committed to playing Wraith even in the high ranks. So I feel like if you play Wraith in the high ranks, you just really know what you like, and you kind of prefer to just keep playing him no matter what people say, and you probably, use that stealth to your advantage. There's also the other side of Wraith mains who kind of just clang their bell and camp people. But I don't know, to be honest, I feel like really good Wraiths are the ones that I see more rather than the ones that just camp and tunnel. I feel like if you play Billy and you main Billy, then you have a lot of expertise in DBD, and you've probably spent quite a lot of time mastering his turns and his chainsaw, because if you're new to DBD, Hillbilly is not easy at all to play. His chainsaw is really difficult to master, but when you get it correct, I feel like Hillbilly is really powerful, and anyone that mains Hillbilly and plays him a lot just wraps up the game really quick. So I feel like if you play Hillbilly, you're really committed to mastering a certain type of killer, and you spend a lot of time just doing that, just getting really good at a specific killer. So nurse mains, I feel like people feel really differently about nurse mains, but my personal opinion is that if you're a nurse main, then you're really dedicated to the game, and you've spent a lot of hours practicing her and basically committed to maining nurse at some point in time, because nurse is definitely one of those killers that takes a lot of practice. It's not like you can just get into the game and, blink around and just kill everyone super easy. I do feel like it takes skill to play nurse, particularly if you're on console. If you're a console player and you main nurse, then I really respect anyone that's a nurse main, and I feel like you guys make the game really cool. Huntress. I feel that Huntress mains definitely kind of live for the thrill, and they just really enjoy getting those across map hatchet throws. And probably when you first started playing Huntress, the idea of getting good at the hatchets is what appealed to you, and you decided to kind of put your time into playing her. And you probably, like ranged attacks just in general when playing games, and you prefer that over close combat, is what I would say for Huntress mains. And I feel like a lot of people just think Huntress is a really cool design and a really cool character, and she has a lot of really cool fits, but I do think the majority of Huntress mains are just really aiming to basically be a god or a goddess at those ranged attacks. If you're a Myers main, I definitely feel like stealth killing is your go-to play style, because Myers, I mean, you can't really get away from being a stealth killer. And I feel like even if you're not trying with Myers, you will definitely jump scare some people just by, you know, his normal powers. And I also feel like a lot of you guys that are Myers mains are really big fans of the Halloween franchise, and you might play him for that reason. But primarily your mode of operation is stealth, and that's the main reason you want to play him. He's just your go-to killer. And actually I fall into this category because I'm pretty much a Myers main in the rare times that I do play killer. And for me personally, it's not about his character and his movies and stuff. It's just his play style, and I feel like it's really fun. I really have fun doing jump scare Myers and running some of those, you know, funny stealth builds, like scratched mirror and things like that. So if you play Doctor, you definitely don't care about what people think, you don't care about the opinions of others, and you just play what you like, because people just hate playing against Doctor because he is honestly a really annoying killer to play against. But if you main him, obviously you don't care about what survivors think, and you want to go for what you think is fun. You probably really enjoy just having kind of a layout of what's going on around you situationally. Doctor, I feel like, is really strong for being aware of where survivors are at all times. So I feel like you probably are a bit more logical with how you approach the game, and you know, you just want to play what you like. I feel like a lot of Doctor players, you know, are very passionate about playing him and do get irritated that survivors don't like him because you enjoy playing him a lot. So definitely just stick to doing what you like. Bubba, I feel like, is kind of similar in the sense that people that main Bubba don't care about what other people think, because I feel like Bubba does get a lot of hate from survivors for camping and tunneling and generally being toxic. And I'm not gonna lie, as a survivor main, I have run into a lot of toxic Bubbas, but I don't think that players that main Bubba are the ones that are toxic. I feel like the players that are toxic Bubba are ones that play him every now and then, but I feel like players that actually main Bubba are actually really strong with him, and they've taken the time to learn how to master him without having to camp. I feel like you just really enjoy the character. Maybe you're a fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, or you just like, you know, the chainsaw kind of play style. You know, Bubba mains, keep doing you, because even though people do hate on Bubba sometimes, I think that there probably needs to be more Bubba mains that are not toxic to kind of break that stereotype. Freddy mains, I honestly feel like the people that main Freddy do so because of his character and because they're fans of The Nightmare on Elm Street. Because I feel like some people have such a big attachment to that character that they just really have fun playing him, and he is pretty cool, and his nightmare state is cool. And I know that Freddy has gotten a lot of hate because people say that, you know, he's too easy to play, but a lot of people that play Freddy, I mean, you just see one of your favorite killers from your favorite horror movie in the game, and you just want to play him regardless of what people think, and I think that's cool. Pig players, again, I do think a lot of the Saw movie fans are into maining Pig, which is totally understandable. Pig is a really cool killer and a fun to play one as well. If you play Pig, you're probably very strategic as well, because it does take some coordination to figure out when to use the head traps on people, and it does complicate the gameplay a little bit more. So if you're into kind of thinking ahead of what you're gonna do and play logically, I can definitely see you being a pig main over that. Spirit players, honestly, I feel like you just enjoy playing Spirit. You like phasing, you like Spirit's design, you like Spirit's powers. And I think that, you know, you probably are really frustrated by the fact that survivors have complained about Spirit over and over again to the point of Spirit getting nerfed. I know Spirit mains were not really very happy about that, but happy in the sense that survivors would stop saying that Spirit is just OP and really easy to play. And you probably just really enjoy Spirit's, you know, design and don't really care if people like you playing her or not. If you're a Legion main, you probably like really high intensity gameplay, and you don't mind if your matches last for a bit longer, you know, than the average match, because I feel like the Legions definitely kind of creates a really intense environment for survivors, and sometimes Legion gameplays do tend to drag out a bit longer than other survivors because people are constantly getting injured, constantly mending. But I think you really like Legion's aesthetic. I feel like a lot of Legion mains are super into his aesthetic or her aesthetic, depending on which variation of Legion you're playing. Legion also has a lot of cool outfits, and personally I think that Legion now has the best chase music in the game, and I feel like that probably attracted a lot more Legion mains, because just being able to change the chase music with the mixtapes, even if the add-ons don't really contribute that much actual gameplay value, is really cool. And obviously anyone that's playing with those add-ons definitely cares more about the chase music and just the experience than the gameplay itself. There's Ghostface mains that are really good at playing him and have mastered his power of when to stalk and things like that, and how to apply that to, you know, just be a really good killer. But there's also the other side of Ghostface mains that are super toxic and will always be teabagging you because it's just, you know, one of the few killers that can teabag like that, and it's pretty funny. Ghostface mains also really like that stealth killer kind of category, just like Myers. And I think if you like playing Ghostface, you might also just, you know, really like the Scream character, even though technically, I mean, he's not the actual character, it's just the outfit, but it's kind of more about the movie and the aesthetic anyways when you play Ghostface. I don't know, I think, you know, the people that play Ghostface toxically definitely embrace it, and I find that kind of funny because I have run into a lot of toxic Ghostface mains. If you play demo, I don't think that you're toxic at all. I think you're definitely attached to Stranger Things continuing to play demo even after the chapter has been gone for so long, especially if you have some of Demo's outfits. I feel like you definitely have shown your attachment to Demo and Stranger Things, and I feel like Demo mains always end up being pretty nice and not toxic, and you also really like to kind of just grind the same killer. Oni mains really enjoy the intimidation factor. You probably really enjoy doing that demon rush and catching survivors off guard. Oni's a super loud killer, but I do think Oni is still fully capable of jump scares with his dash at times. Oni mains focus mainly on Oni. Like, Oni mains don't really play very many of the other killers. They tend to stick to Oni and be very passionate about him. And you probably don't really mind loud sounds and aggressive gameplay because that's pretty much what Oni is all about. If you play Deathslinger, you are probably kind of looking for a first-person shooter style of game, and this is the closest that you can get to that within DBD, because most of the killers are not really shooter types at all, but Deathslinger definitely gives you that vibe. You probably, you know, started playing DBD after playing COD or, you know, some battle royale games, and thought that probably that was your best bet at starting off with a killer. And I feel like Deathslinger mains are pretty attached to Deathslinger as well. Probably because he's pretty unique in how he operates. I feel like a lot of Pyramid Head mains are Silent Hill fans. I've never really seen any toxic Pyramid Heads. I don't know if that's just me, but Pyramid Heads to me are pretty wholesome. If you're a Pyramid Head main, you probably play really fairly and you enjoy playing Pyramid Head just for the sake of his character. Blight mains. So when Blight came out, a ton of people were playing Blight, but not all of those people stuck to Blight, and he definitely faded out a lot more over time. So I feel like if you are a Blight main now and you still play Blight, you've really kind of overcome that phase where everybody thought that pinball kind of Blight dashing power was really difficult to master, and you overcame that and you've actually gotten really good with that power and you've made it usable for you. And since you're one of the people that can actually use it to your advantage, you probably destroy a lot of survivors in your matches, and you're pretty attached to him. Trickster mains, I feel like if you're a Trickster main, then you've just stood by him for the longest time despite any nerfs and buffs that he's been getting and some of the hate that he's been getting and criticism that he'd gotten in the past. I also feel like a lot of people, when they play DBD, they see Trickster and they think he's really fun and interesting. I mean, he's one of the few killers that actually looks like a normal person, and his gameplay is actually pretty fun. So I think if you still play him, then you're more focused on if the game is fun for you rather than just grinding and for skill and getting wins. But I also think that some Trickster mains definitely have gotten really, really strong with his power. And I feel like a lot of people that play Trickster also just know everything about him really well. Like, they know his lore, they know his voice lines, and they know like what he says when he gets pallet stunned, and like to make sure that everybody knows like, you know, kind of how complex his character is and how he's different than the other killers. So you're definitely passionate about playing him as well. I feel like Nemesis mains are huge Resident Evil fans. I feel like a lot of people started playing DBD when the Resident Evil chapter came out, and I can imagine a lot of new killer mains started with playing Nemesis. As a Nemesis main, you probably also live for the satisfying feeling when you and a zombie tag team to get a down on a survivor together, because that's definitely very unique to Nemesis. So from what I've heard from you Pinhead mains, the reason that you guys like playing Pinhead is literally just because he's fun. I mean, as a survivor, he's really annoying to go up against, but I can see as a killer, it would be fun to kind of wreak that kind of havoc on survivors, and I feel like you guys enjoy doing that. Also, Pinhead has a lot of kind of versatility, and there's a lot of different ways that you can use his mechanics, so I feel like you guys kind of enjoy experimenting with him and playing around with him, and you don't really care what survivors think or how they feel about your playstyle. You're more interested in kind of having fun with the killer that you're playing and experimenting, just like some of the other killers. Onryo, I feel like a lot of Onryo mains actually play because they are huge fans of the Ring movies and just find her really creepy and fun to play. I think primarily you do care about how fun it is to play her, and you probably were really enjoying the jump scares in the menu when she first came out. Her TV teleportation and jump scares are really fun as well.
Everyone underestimates me.
I don't know what this.
They turn their back, and I'm like,
What? Oh my god!
But I feel like Onryo mains have more of an attachment to the character rather than her actual powers and her playstyle. Dredge mains, it's a little bit early to tell, but I feel like if you're already a Dredge main, then you're kind of just playing him for fun, or you really mastered his locker teleportation skills. You probably also really enjoy the Reign of Darkness power that he has, which pretty much makes it impossible for the survivors to see. But I feel like if you're a Dredge main, you really enjoy kind of experimentation, because he hasn't been out for so long. So if you've already kind of claimed him as a main, you're definitely open to finding new characters that you enjoy playing. If you're an artist main, then you definitely enjoy the ranged attacks as well, and you enjoy killing loops and just feeling like you're winning in a chase, because I feel like her power is actually really strong for ending loops really early on. And I feel like a lot of people also appreciate Artist's actual design. She's definitely pretty unique and she has cool lore. I feel like the fun of playing Artist is very similar to the fun of playing Huntress, but not as many people have really recognized that in the time that she's been out. So you probably feel that she deserves a bit more hype, and you can definitely go for the lesser known characters that not as many people will talk about and discover their underlying powers. If you main the twins, you're probably so tired of people always talking about how bad the twins are and how much they hate playing against the twins and how much the twins suck and blah blah blah.
Dude, I just hate the twins.
I don't feel like anyone's a huge fan of twins. Ugh.
Dude, I hate her or them or whatever. It's just so sus. Like, ugh. And like the way she walks, dude. Just ugh.
I hate the twins.
Bruh, chill.
Because a lot of people have been hating on the twins. If you're still maining the twins, then I'm sure you have mastered their power, because they are actually quite strong if you do take the time to master them. So you definitely took your time in the beginning when the twins came out, or whenever you started playing the twins. Twins keep getting nerfed again and again. If you've stuck with them through that, then you're very committed to just sticking to a character no matter what happens to them, and you're attached more so to the characters than necessarily the actual play style. And probably you just are pretty unique in the sense that you don't go with the normal crowd, and even when people are calling out this character for not being the best, you just still continue playing them and disregard that. If you main the Plague, I feel like you've invested a lot of time into understanding her, because she's also very unique. And if you're a Plague main, you probably exclusively main Plague for the most part. And you really enjoy taking on those teams of survivors who are not very experienced with playing against Plague. And you also get a lot of wins, even against Survive with Friends, who do try to band together against Plague, because you've had a lot of experience and hours playing her. And you're not afraid to play some of the lesser known killers in the game. If you're a Clown main, you've also probably had it really difficult with a lot of survivors hating on you, and I do know that a lot of survivors DC when they see Clown, and they don't really have fun playing against him. So if you've stuck through all that, you've definitely learned how to master Clown, how to deal with his aim with the bottles, how to basically shut down survivor chases, and you really enjoy it regardless of what kind of survivors that you encounter. And you're very persistent in your practice of playing a character that no one likes. If you're a Hag main, you probably exclusively play Hag. You're also very logical about your gameplay, because she does take a lot of expertise to set up the traps in a way so that you have control of the map and you kind of know where the survivors are and what they're doing at all times. So you're definitely a very logical player. You don't really play her for fun. You play her more for the technique and the skills, and you like applying your knowledge of the game to winning matches with Hag. And probably some of your favorite matches are the ones where survivors are just stepping in your traps constantly and they have no idea where to expect your traps. So that pretty much wraps up what I think about certain killer mains and what it kind of says about you. Definitely let me know in the comments what your killer main is, and if it was accurate or not, or if I'm completely off about how you are and how you are with your killer main. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.
Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south, I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down.